ओम सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ओम शांति शांति शांति। ओम नमो ब्रह्मादिभ्यो ब्रह्म विद्या संप्रदाय कर्तृभ्यो वंश ऋषिभ्यो महद्भ्यो नमो गुरुभ्यः। ओम ओम नमः प्रणवार्थाय शुद्धज्ञानैकमूर्तये निर्मलाय प्रशान्ताय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। ओम सदाशिवसमारम्भां व्यासशङ्करमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। ओम श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादशङ्करं लोकशङ्करम्। ॐ शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। ॐ समस्तब्रह्मविद्या आचार्येभ्यो ऋषिभ्यो मुनिभ्यो गुरुभ्यो देवताभ्यो नमः। श्री वेदव्यास वैशंपायन याज्ञवल्क्याद्य शंकराचार्यवर्यादि गुरुभ्यो नमः। अस्मद्गुरुभ्यो नमः। परब्रह्मणे नमः। श्रुतिमात्रे नमः। Today we will chant in our Parayanam the Brahmananda Mimamsa portion of the second Brahmananda Valli. So every day by chanting we are becoming familiar with the mantras, thus allowing the rishis to enter into us and reveal the meaning of these mantras. This chanting has that much of deep effect and influence if we do with that type of sankalpa and shraddha. Let us chant. Om Bhishasmadvatah pavate Bhishodeti suryah Bhishasmadagnischendrascha Mrutyurdhavati panchama iti Saishanandasya mimagam sa bhavati Yuvasyat sadhu yuvadhyayakah Asishto drudhishto balishthah तस्येयं पृथिवी सर्वा वित्तस्य पूर्णा स्यात् स एको मानुष आनन्दः ते एष तं मानुष आनन्दाः स एको मनुष्यगन्धर्वाणामानन्दः श्रोत्रियस्य च कामः तस्य ते एष तं मनुष्यगन्धर्वाणामानन्दाः स एको देवगन्धर्वाणामानन्दः श्रोत्रियस्य च कामः तस्य एष तं देवगन्धर्वाणामानन्दाः स एकः पितॄणां चिरलोकलोकानामानन्दः श्रोत्रियस्य च कामः तस्य एष तं पितॄणां चिरलोकलोकानामानन्दाः स एक आजानजानां देवानामानन्दः श्रोत्रियस्य च कामः तस्य एष तमाजानजानां देवानामानन्दाः स एकः कर्मदेवानां देवानामानन्दः ये कर्मणा देवानभियन्ते श्रोत्रियस्य च कामः तस्य एष तं कर्मदेवानां देवानामानन्दाः स एको देवानामानन्दः श्रोत्रियस्य च कामः तस्य एष तं देवानामानन्दाः स एक इन्द्रस्यानन्दः श्रोत्रियस्य च कामः तस्य एष तमिन्द्रस्यानन्दाः स एको बृहस्पतेरानन्दः श्रोत्रियस्य च कामः तस्य एष तं बृहस्पतेरानन्दाः स एकः प्रजापतेरानन्दः श्रोत्रियस्य च कामः तस्य एष तं प्रजापतेरानन्दाः स एको ब्रह्मण आनन्दः श्रोत्रियस्य च कामः तस्य स यश्चायं पुरुषे यश्चासावादित्ये स एकः स य एवं विद अस्माल्लोकात् प्रेत्य एतमन्नमयमात्मानमुपसङ्क्रामति एतं प्राणमयमात्मानमुपसङ्क्रामति एतं मनोमयमात्मानमुपसङ्क्रामति एतं विज्ञानमयमात्मानमुपसङ्क्रामति एतमानन्दमयमात्मानमुपसङ्क्रामति तदप्येष श्लोको भवति यतो वाचो निवर्तन्ते अप्राप्य मनसा सह आनन्दं ब्रह्मणो विद्वान् न बिभेति कुतश्च नेति एतगं हवावन तवते किमहं साधुना करवं किमहं पापमकरवमिति य एवं स य एवं विद्वानेते आत्मानग् स्पृणुते उभेहि वैषयेते आत्मानग् स्पृणुते य एवं वेद इत्युपनिषत् ॐ सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहैः ॐ शान्तिः 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 ॐ अथ श्रीकृष्णयजुर्वेदान्तर्गत तैत्तिरीयशाखान्तर्गत तैत्तिरीय उपनिषदा ॐ यस्माज्जातं जगत्सर्वं यस्मिन्नेव प्रणीयते येनेदन्धार्यते चैव तस्मै ज्ञानात्मने नमः यैरिमे गुरुवे पूर्वं पदवाक्यप्रमाणतः व्याख्याताः सर्ववेदान्ताः तान्नित्यं प्रणतोऽस्म्यहं तैत्तिरीयकसारस्य मयाचार्यप्रसादतः विस्पष्टार्थरुचीनां हि व्याख्येयं सम्प्रणीयते अथ प्रथमा शिक्षा वल्ली प्रथमोऽनुवाकः शान्तिमन्त्रः ॐ शन्नो मित्रः शं वरुणः शन्नो भवत्वर्यमा शन्न इन्द्रो बृहस्पतिः शन्नो विष्णुरुक्रमः नमो ब्रह्मणे नमस्ते वायो त्वमेव प्रत्यक्षं ब्रह्मासि त्वामेव प्रत्यक्षं ब्रह्म वदिष्यामि हृदं वदिष्यामि सत्यं वदिष्यामि तन्मामवदो तद्वक्तारमवदो अवतु माम् अवतु वक्तारम् ॐ शान्तिः 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 ॐ अथ षष्ठोऽनुवाकः ॐ स य एषोऽन्तर्हृदय आकाशः तस्मिन्नयं पुरुषो मनोमयः अमृतो हिरण्मयः अन्तरेण तालुके य एषस्तनैवावलम्बते सेन्द्रयोनिः यत्रासौ केशान्तो विवर्तते व्यपोह्य शीर्षकपाले भूरित्यग्नौ प्रतितिष्ठति भुवैति वायौ सुवरित्यादित्ये मह इति ब्रह्मणि आप्नोति स्वाराज्यौ आप्नोति मनसस्पतिं वाक्पतिश्चक्षुष्पतिः श्रोत्रपतिर्विज्ञानपतिः एतत्ततो भवति आकाशशरीरं ब्रह्म सत्यात्मप्राणारामं मन आनन्दं शान्तिसमृद्धममृतम् इति प्राचीनयोग्योपास्व ॐ शान्तिः 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 Having saluted to all the rishis, munis, gurus, devatas, Shruti Mata, Parabrahma, our own Guru. These are the 5-6 things we have to know in our life. First one, either yourself know what is the ultimate to be achieved and pursue it, or ask the Guru what is the ultimate and pursue from it, having known from him when he says this is ultimate, or search out what are the variety of the achievable things that are there for human beings. Then among them, what is the highest? Observe, try to achieve it. Or with whatever the stage we are in now, what is next to this? What is higher than this? What is greater than this? Understanding it by any of the means, try to pursue it. All these are called as utilizing the opportunity of human life, utilizing the facilities of all the faculties, utilizing the freedom of Purushartham in a right manner. All in all, we should not either get stagnant where we are, or we should not go down and down than what we are. In this way, if the Purushartha, the abilities given, and the possibilities higher are not kept in mind, and we are not continuously inspired by them, and we are not pursuing them, what will happen is we get inspired or misguided by our own minds, lower thoughts, or we get misguided with the people or the things or situations are happening which are at the lower level than us, then we will be dragged by them towards the lower life. This awareness is called as maturity. So I am human now with this Manusha Deha and all. So left to myself and leaving me to the others in the world in the wrong company, they will induce in me those type of thoughts, or my mind itself imagines those type of thoughts because of earlier samskaras and habits, that I go towards becoming like a rakshasa or go towards becoming like an animal. On the whole, my human dignity I may lose, left to myself. On the other hand, if I am seeing the world of people who are higher than me in stand of life, who are greater than me, and who are more loved and worshipped by everyone, and if I also go through all the Shastras and see the people who are acknowledged as great and the people who are praised by everyone, then I'll get inspired that I also have to reach to those heights. In this way, unless the higher possibilities are recognized, unless we love or like to become higher and higher in life, from the lower one, we cannot pull ourselves away. Not knowing the higher possibilities, therefore getting carried away by the lower possibilities and really becoming lower in our life is called as moham, is called as delusion, is called as ignorance, is called as stupidity, is called as murkhatha. Whatever the name we give, what exactly happens in our bosom is this. Day by day, I have to get informed about the higher achievements that are possible, higher achievements that are existing. And by continuously exposed to them alone, a day will come there where I must achieve that. Those sort of thoughts start becoming stronger. Unless that I want to become higher and greater from the spiritual angular standpoint, become stronger and stronger in me, I cannot refrain my lifestyle or my vasanas or my worldliness to be withdrawn from the negative. चाहे कुछ भी हो, whether it is excessive sleep, whether it is indulgence in the world, whether it is ragadveshadi durgunas, whether it is a kama krodadin, in short, whether the entire worldly vyavahara, which is not at all dignity of a dignified human being, we can never come out of it consistently, effectively, unless we aim at the higher goal, observed, conceived, accepted, convinced by our own heart. The entire struggle of all the rishis, munis, Upanishads, Shastras is only this. Oh, my dear man, you have possibilities infinite to become the subtlemost Parabrahma, to become one with that substratum of the entire universe, which is infinite, which is blissful. Instead of making possible that infinite possibilities, you are doing the other extreme of getting identified with the one upadhi set, and to that also to one thing or one being or one stupid nonsense experience of the world, and insulting, humiliating your own inner possibilities. You are, instead of becoming immortal, we are just becoming committers of the suicide only. अमृतत्व को प्राप्त करने के बजाय आत्महत्या हम कर रहे हैं. That is the difference between Tasmenayam Purusho Manomaya and Amruto Hiranmaya. The possibility is to become Amruta and Hiranmaya. And what we are becoming? Purushaha Manomaya, and that Manomaya is Annamaya, Pranamaya and Annamaya. And as Annamaya, definitely we are dying at one day. And every day as a Annamaya Purusha, we are dying to higher possibilities, because with the Dehatadhatmya, what not the useless wretched things we are thinking and we are living. This is what the Shastras are indicating to us for our own higher evolution. And unless 100 times we listen to Shastras in an unbiased manner, these subtle understandings which are indicated with the Shastra, it won't click to us. So, what should click to me after so many years of Shastra Adhyanam? Shastras and Guru and Satsanga and Paramatma, out of their love, kindness, compassion, without even my being deserving, are telling me about the higher, greater achievements and possibilities. They are inspiring me for that. They are guiding me towards that. And I am now at the very lowest level of my evolution. I just physically became human. In the mind, in the life of mine, I am just at the level of animals only, sometimes even worse than them. Living the life at the body level is the dignity of only animals. Expanding our lives, living from Annamaya to the Prana, to the Mana, to the Buddhi, and after that to the Shuddha Atma, and Atma is Brahma, that Parabrahma is Sarvavapaka. That is our dignity. That is where we have to reach in our higher identity. That is where all the pursuits end, all the achievements are accomplished. That is the infinite, endless state of being. That is the final goal. Whether it is Isha, Kena, Katha, Prashna, in whatever the Upanishad, in whatever the mantras, with whatever the logic, in whatever the examples they say, what they indicate to us is the highest possibility in us. What they inspire us is about that only. And not listening to that, not knowing that, not wanting to understanding that, not pursuing that, and not only living at present level but trying to do knowingly or unknowingly those things by which we fall more and more. All that is called a moha, all that is called maya. And that happens because you are not knowing. That not knowing is called as avidya. As long as avidya, not knowing, is there, the moha maya will not leave us. Unless the moha maya goes away, the suicidal life we cannot ourselves protect from. And how the suicidal life is protected? When the moha maya goes away. When it goes away, when the avidya goes away. When the avidya goes away, when the vidya comes. And where the vidya comes to us? Only in the Shastra, only in the Satsanga, only when we study Grantha Shastras, no less than Upanishad. There are many hundreds of Shastras, but they don't tell as vehemently, strongly, logically, systematically, beautifully as the Upanishads. Those who don't deserve, those who don't have capacity, those who don't have the Krupa, Bhagwan, and Guru to listen to Upanishads, they can go to the lower classes. But those who get an opportunity and occasion, they must study Upanishads because of the sacredness of Upanishads, because whoever the rishis, munis have given us, Purana, Itihasa, Ityadi, for all of them, the higher authority is this Vedanta Upanishads only. Even the Devatas, Avataras, they come, they talk their lectures, satsang, only based on Upanishads. Sarvopanishadaha Gavaha. From that only this Gopal Nandana Dogdha takes out the milk of Gita and gives to Arjuna and others. So be regular in the study of Upanishads, but please more concerned about what this Shruti Mata wanting to convey to me. She is indicating to me the highest goal and highest possibility. And our job is to consistently, unbiasedly listen in that kodam, that angle, till we within our heart shake our laziness, lethargy, tamoguna, shake our all the habitually living lower life, and get inspired from the deep core of our heart that I must pursue the higher goal and I must reach out to the higher one. Like in the world also, unless one is inspired by the higher one, he will not leave the lower, or he will not work with all the abilities hidden, and he cannot grow in life. Every field is so. In the same way in spirituality. Spirituality means infinitude, immortality, bliss eternal. Is it not covetable? Is it not worthy of trying for? But to do that, we have to understand all other things are lower, and we should be able to ready to sacrifice the lower for the higher. When that starts happening in me involuntarily, not because of somebody forced, or not because of some occasion, or not is once in a while, but consistently when my heart is throbbing from within deeply to be to pursue and reach the higher and greater goals at the cost of the lower ones, that day is all the punya phala has come to us, all the sankalpas, anugrah of the all rishis, munis, and guru have come to our heart. All our puja phala, devata anugraha is in that form, that in the core of my heart, when I strongly decide the Shreyo Marga at the cost of Priyo Marga, once for all, not to compromise again. That is the most golden day in the evolution of any of the jiva. Then only the true evolution happens. In other occasions, once in a while we behave good, once in a while we do dharma, once in a while we do some upasanas, once in a while we study shastra. All that is happening very, very superficial level. But heart in heart, we are dehosmi, and we want deha sambandha bhoga, and we are interested only in the world. That has to be eliminated. That's why डीप कोर ऑफ हार्ट तक ये वाला ज्ञान जाने के लिए हमें उतने सूक्ष्मता से पढ़ना है, सुनना है, सोचना है, समझना है, दिल तक. बाहर सुन पढ़ रहे हैं वेदांत, बट दिल में है Kamakrodadi yukta dehatadhatmya. Then what I live is what is in my heart, not what is superficial. Because of this, how many even number of years we study Shastra, we are not able to come out of our worldliness, come out of our samsara, come out of living life at the grossest level. And added to that, lot of fears. Fear is I can't exist if not I am the Deha. All these are notions. The reality is as a reality, and that substratum real on which all the Stula Sukshma Karana are superimposed. Therefore, the Stula Sukshma Karana, which are superimposed, they are delusory misconceptions and they are the unrealities and mithyas. They are binding me. Reality is really the subtlemost, and that is the liberating one, and actually, that is the me. Now, in this knowledge also, unless we become stronger, like हमारी जिंदगी में जैसे कभी दोस्त को दुश्मन बनाकर ले लेते हैं और दुश्मन को दोस्त, लाख भी लोग कहते हैं हमको, बट हम समझते नहीं. एक दिन प्रभु कृपा जब होकर when we start thinking, then we when we analyze we see unknowingly, silently, secretly, one fellow whom I considered as enemy is going on helping me, and unknowingly, secretly, silently, the other fellow is cheating continuously me, whom I was thinking that he is a friend. The moment when you realize, don't we change? In the same way, unknowingly, silently, secretly, the self is inviting us, come and identify with me, yours is an infinite happiness. And unknowingly, secretly, silently, the Dehendriya Mana are pulling us, promising us that we also give you Sukha. But what we consider the friend, the evolutionary path of spirituality as the enemy, and the true enemy of lower life as the friend. And who is doing all that? I myself. I myself, because of my own non information and non thinking, therefore, because of my own murkhata, considering friend as enemy and not getting benefit from him, and considering enemy as the friend, and going on being dragged to the lower level of samsara. These are the essence of the Pururava story also. Instead of going to satsanga and discovering the ultimate truth through all the sadhanas, of course they are difficult at every level, but the gift to the ultimate is the highest. Therefore, every effort, every sacrifice in spiritual sadhana is worthy. So instead of pursuing that one, what a wretched life I made out of myself by getting infatuated by this Urvashi who is never permanent, definitely going to ditch me and cheat me. Once he understood that, he is never again looked back. Urvashi lokamatho vihaya. Is it not atmanam atmanupagamya mam vai? Uparamas jnana vidhuta moha. What a beautiful life is this. So till this happens in our life also, the only way is what? Regularly our shravanam, mananam, without any excuse, without any lazinesses. That's the only way. Like somebody was saying, Swamiji, Corona aaya hai, I can't attend class. I said, Corona is the best occasion for you, an excuse for you to give up everything and attend class, not the other way around. Because it's only Corona time where nobody calls you, no work you need to do. They think that I can't understand that subtlety. That means what? Somehow they want to escape class, so any excuse can Swami Buddhu, he can listen. Therefore, Corona आ गया, I can't attend class. अरे, you can't go out, sit and attend class. This is what we should not sit ourselves. We should help ourselves being regular and consistent. No other excuse or reason is accepted to bunk our morning Upanishad Vedanta class. This is the only place where we are strongly building our pillars for our further evolutionary lives. Baki classes of time pass. Because only in these Upanishads, systematically, subtly, we are informed, inspired about the higher. And only in the inspiration of the higher and trying to pursue the higher that we will be able to come out of the lower effectively. नहीं चाहिए स्वामी जी को हायर, हम ऐसे सड़े पड़े रहेंगे. Even from the human, we go to the animal level, even further devilish level. Nobody can stop. It is your life after all. It is my life after all, whether I have to evolve it or whether I have to pull it down. Later on, nobody will answer, even Bhagwan, even the entire Guru Parambara. None of them will answer to my question. Why did I fall? Why didn't I rise? Because they never asked us to fall. Rather, they all helped us only to the rise. और कोई आएंगे भी नहीं बचाने को जब हम गिरते जाते गिरते जाते गिरते जाते. जिंदगी मेरा है, मुझे बनाना है, इस तरह का विचार लगातार जहां सुनाई देते हैं वहीं जाना है और उन्हीं विचारों को लेकर चारों तरफ हम घूमते रहना है. This is what, in short, in today's introduction, the logic behind the study of Shastra, the logic behind why we have to pursue spirituality, etc. In one angle, we try to discuss. And all of them are essence of the Upanishad. And the one who's convinced in all this and want to evolve spiritually, to him, spirituality or the Shastras are the means. And then he listens, he understands, he contemplates, and reaches out. And all others, we have not even come to the convincing decision that we are totally आध्यात्मिक साधक. Our goal is परमात्मा. अब वहां तक आए नहीं हम, फिर भी vagueness is lot of vagueness is there in our heart अभी भी. Means that much of Shravanam, Mananam we have not yet done. That means so much to Shravanam, so much is the Mananam is required to be done till we get convinced. Once we are convinced, then nobody need tell us what to do, where to go. ऐसे ना बच्चा जब 20-22 का हो गया, हाँ, ज़्यादा बोलने की ज़रूरत नहीं है, एक एंगल में उसको पता है. बट इन मेनी अदर थिंग्स इज स्टूपिड, he'll have to be taught like that. So to a person may become old with all his worldly achievements, still he is a bacha if he doesn't think and understand that spirituality is the ultimate goal. So he also need to be taught every life by the Guru till in one life he gets the conviction that all these very lower, highest is that as a possibility. Let me make that possibility as possible by inspiringly working towards that. So all the efforts of Upanishads and Rishis are only in this guidance or direction for the sake of every sadhaka or jiva or the shrota of that Upanishad. Thus may we also, by Krupa of Parabrahma Tattva, by Krupa of Shrutimata, by the Krupa of all the Guru Parambara, get inspired fully without even little of compromise about spiritual pursuit. Whatever the cobwebs that are there, whatever the hesitations are there, whatever the doubts are there, inhibitions are there, whatever the misunderstanding, wrong notions are there, emotional commotions are there, en route. Oh Lord, hey Guru, please see that all of them are removed in such a way that my understanding is clear, smooth, without any vagueness about the goal as well as the means. And my pursuit of the means till I reach the goal also without any obstructions. May this happen to me, O Lord, very soon. For that, any cost you take from us. Let all the punya we have done, let all the upasanas we have done, let all the guru sevas we have done so far in our all millions of lives, let all of that be taken by you, but fulfill this sankalpa of ours of reaching you. In this way, we have to keep on empowering, inspiring ourselves. Okay. Now, in that pursuit only, we have come to Taittiriya or Ishakena Gada Prashna Mundamandukya. Now we are studying Taittiriya. And in Taittiriya Upanishad, the Rishi, the Mahachamasya, beautifully, systematically guiding us through Upasana into this path of evolution. And in this guidance, when you truly, sincerely understand what's happening is, we are pulled out from our lower life of Annapranamana to the higher and greater identities, which are possible. And although reaching to the higher is difficult, but going through the difficulty, when we reach higher, the joy of staying at the higher is always greater. Being a governor of a state is always great. But we become president of the entire nation. Can there be anything greater than that? But it is not easy. As a governor in other portfolios, so many years we have to sincerely, seriously, honestly work. And even as president or prime minister, have sankalpa that I work only for the nation. And this sankalpa when reaches to Narayana, then he will see to it that that is given in the spiritual life also. Okay, now we have done the Vyahriti Upasana. Okay, Bhurbo Surati Va Etas Tisro Vyahurdaya तासामुहस्मैतां चतुर्थीं माहाचमस्य प्रवेदयते महैति तद्ब्रह्मा स आत्मा अंगानि अन्या देवताः भूरित्वायं लोकः भूरित्यन्तरिक्षं स्वरित्यसौ लोकः महैत्यादित्यः आदित्येन वाव सर्वे लोका महीयन्ते देन भूरितिवा अग्निः भुवरिति वायुः स्वरित्यादित्यः मह इति चन्द्रमाः चन्द्रमसा वाव सर्वाणि ज्योतिगंसि ज्योतिंसि प्रदीयन्ते. Then we came to भूरिति वै रुचः भूरिति वा रुचः भुवरिति सामः स्वरिति यजुगंसि मह इति ब्रह्मणा वाव सर्वे वेदाः महीयन्ते. देन भूरिति वै प्राणः भूरित्यपानः सोरिति व्यानः मह इत्यन्नम् अन्येन वाव सर्वे प्राणाः महीयन्ते. So all this study, all this the trying the understanding of, we tried our best. Then after that we entered into, in the continuation of the fifth Anuvaka only, the sixth one. Then Tavayetaschatasraha Chatasrachatarto Vyahrudaha Tayo Veda Saveda Brahma Sarve Esme Deva Valimavahanti. In the sixth one, we were told about Dahara Akasha Sthita Parabrahma Rupa Jiva Upasana. Ultimately, the goal is Parabrahma. But the point to recognize the Parabrahma, and the first step to recognize Parabrahma is the point or the place is Hridayakasha, and his identity at this level is as Jiva. Now what are we? Not even that Jiva, but totally submerged in Annamana Mana Pranamaya Manomaya identity. With Anna Prana Manomaya Tadatmya, we think only as Anna Prana Manomaya Purusha for the bhoga of the world. Only when we detach ourselves from these three effectively and identify ourselves as the Purusha in the Hridaya, then only the other side of journey of this Purusha slowly evolving in identity with the totality, so finally with the ultimate subtle truth, that angle is possible. That is why Vyahariti Upasana Batakar Mahaiti Brahmani वहाँ तक हमको ले गए. स एषोऽन्तर्हृदय आकाशः तस्मिन्नयं पुरुषो मनोमयः अमृतो हिरण्मयः एंड अंतरेण तालुके स एषस्तनिवाम्बते सेन्द्रयोनिः यत्रासो केशान्तो विवर्तते व्यपोहे शीर्षकपाले. These are all yoga prakriyas. But what is the achievements? Bhurityagno pratitishthati bhuvariti vayo swarityaditye. What we have to understand is the Agni, Vayu, Aditya are the Atma of the Bhurbhuva Swaha. Infinite Bhurbhuva Swaha, one particular Bhurbhuva Swaha of one Upadhi only we have identified and trying to get happiness only through that. This is Moha. Imagine if we can identify with the total Bhurbhuva Swaha, how much happy we are. Now imagine if we identify with the Atma of those Bhurbhuva Swaha, how much happy we would be. This imagination is called Upasana. First step of Upasana. After that, the imagination gives inspiration. The inspiration makes us give up the lower and pursue the higher. In the world also, no? Imagination. That when I have my own house and nobody to trouble me, other rented house, every time they come and push, and every 6 months, 1 year I have to search out. This imagination of safety, security of own house slowly makes him work hard to earn more and save money and get his own house. And when he comes to his new house, definitely he has got that happiness for which he came. It is not a jhoot. The Sukha Ananda being in a own house, only a tenant knows more than the owner because the tenant sufferings. In the same way, when we imagine again and again, imagine, it's not imagination. It is imagination socho ki kitna anand aata hoga. If I identify with Agni Tattva, if I am identified with, so if I am Agni Tattva, in this universe, how many ever Bhu or Stula Sharis are there? All of them put together, what Ananda they are getting, Stula Sharir se, wo sab mera ho jayega. That is the meaning of Bhurityav. That will be explained again in the subsequent mantras also. So too, all the Pranamaya Kosha Ananda becomes Maya Ananda if I become one with Vayu Tattva. So too I become Agni Tattva, Aditya, then all the Mana, Buddhi, whatever the Ananda they are giving or getting, that becomes mine. So too, Mahiti Brahmani. When I identify the Mahat Brahmata Sthiti, then every individual, through whatever life's pursuits in all the three planes of Jagra, Sapna, Sushupti, whatever the Ananda they are getting, that becomes mine as a Mahat Brahma. But all of that is lesser than the Brahmananda also. क्योंकि ब्रह्मानंद में ये महत वाला उपाधि चाहे उस टोटल का हो वो भी नहीं रहता. दैट इज अ प्योर ब्लिस, not bliss because of being something or becoming something. That is ultimate. That should always be reminded reminded for us. Otherwise, we take all these as goals. Like अब तक अन्न प्राणमय को कैसे गोल मान के रखा, उसी तरह अग्नि वायु आदित्य महत ब्रह्मा, we should not take them also as ultimate goal, but they are better than the lower. पहले नीचे से यहाँ तक तो आ जाओ, वहीं सड़े फंसे रहते हो at the body level, prana level. That is the Shruti is wanting to say, because it's Shruti, she can't speak so harshly. Therefore, we are not able to understand. But if we are really devoted, we understand Shruti is shouting at us in this way. Like mother cannot shout. But child should understand by looking at mother that she is not happy with me, angry. So to Shruti Mata may not say Mudamate, like Vajagoindam texts say. But we should understand when it is indicating to the higher goal, we should understand it is telling us a fool, leave the lower and achieve the higher. इस तरह से खुद को महसूस करना है अंदर से. That highest sensitivity we must possess. By the way, now here we have come up to the Mahayati Brahmani. Then we saw how when one becomes identified with the total Mahat Brahma, total Hiranyagarbha, total Aham of the universe, which is identified both the Sthula and Sukshma totality. Like I am Aham and I have my Sukshma Sharira and I have my Sthula Sharira. So I right now, this Aham in me, identified with this Sthula and this Sukshma and trying to eke out Sukha from this. You are doing like this for you, that person doing like that. Imagine the total Aham which is identified with the total Sukshma and Karana Sharira. Sthula and Karana Sukshma Sharira. How much Ananda would be he will be in. And as he is reaching higher, these powers and Shaktis come under his control. Okay. Therefore, the results of becoming Mahat Brahma as the Phala Shruti, the Shruti Mata is telling us to inspire us. That you can achieve. And if it is not achievable, none of the Shruti Smriti Purana Itihasa nor the Gurus will tell us. इम्पॉसिबल को नहीं कहने के लिए नहीं आते हैं शास्त्र. शास्त्र जो पॉसिबल है वही कहने के लिए आते हैं. Is it not? It is not impossible for us to become Agni Vayu तत्व से एक होना. Aim at that one, secretly, silently inside. सबको नहीं बोलना मैं अग्नि बन रहा हूँ करके. Then they say मतलब जला रहे हो अपने आप को. They think like that. I am transcending this Annamaya, Pranamaya, going to become Agni Tattva. And oh, Agni Vayu Devata la kaun hai? At one time they were also Jiva like us. And through the evolution they reached to that level. Okay. Now, Apnoti Swarajyam. We have completed yesterday that one. From there we start seeing the Bhashya and conclude this one today if possible. Okay. What is the meaning of Apnoti Swarajyam? So, Swarajyam Swarat Bhavam means Swayam Eva Raja Adipati Bhavati. He becomes Raja and Adipati. And whenever he is a Raja, to Uchura Praja he is a Raja. He cannot be a Raja in a barren land of no human beings. So that's what in Bhagavad Puranam or in the Bhagavad Mahatmya, which is from Skanda Puranam, we see when that Vajranabha is made as king, as Mathura, all that Mathura and Vrindavan area, who is the child of Pradyumna, Aniruddha. He says, मुझे राजा तो बनाया कोई प्रजा ही नहीं है. So who are the praja here? कि सर्कल देवतानाम अंगभूतानाम अधिपति भवति. He becomes Samrat Adipati for all the devatas who are managing the show of the whole world. He becomes, when he identifies Mahat Brahma, the experience of that Mahat Brahma is Samrat. Samrat is Adipati. Swayam Raja, Adipati. Adipati Samrat for what? All the Devatas. So, at this level, we are begging the Devatas and they are putting so many conditionings. And when you do the wrong thing, they are kicking us. But at the level of reaching to that Mahat Brahma, we are commanding those Devatas. Feel that. These are the things which inspire us to come out of the lower. Unless we imagine and feel these possibilities again and again, we will never be convinced to try to reach the higher. And जैसा introduction में कहा, unless we try to reach the higher with inspiration from the lower world of kama, krodha, vikara, the raga, dvesha, vikara, we will never be able to free ourselves. चाहे हजारों जन्म में और दलदल में फंसते ही जाएंगे because of such useless companies. That is why Strishu Straineshu Arthavit Sangaha na Kartavyaha. What the meaning of that is this only. That Sangha which inspires you to know the truth, that's called Satsanga. That has to be done as Kartavya. And any other Sangha by which we get more and more lost in the worldliness is called Dussanga. उस दुस्संग को नहीं करने वाला कर्तव्य हमको करना है. This is how what we relate this in that text. Okay. Now, having said so, now the continuous explanation about the Falashrutis are said. Devaha cha sarve asmai angine balim avahanti angabhutaha yatha brahmane. Like all Indra, Agni, Vayu, Varuna give the bali to the Brahmadeva in the Pauranika story. So too to this Mahat Brahma become sadhaka, all the devatas, Indra, Agni, Vayu, Ityadi, they offer bali to him. They respect and revere him so much. Naturally, when you are respected, revered by the greater authorities, and they themselves are bringing the greater, the bali or the offerings to us, are we not happy? Again, that's what. The President of India only is giving the Padma Shri Padma Bhushan award. Can there be any greater fulfillment? No. In the same way, Devatas themselves are bringing all the bali. What a respect and reverence it is. No, the giving of award by President has many ways to look at. One is the highest person in the whole country himself is recognizing the contribution and awarding. Other way is what? To your great service, I am also bowing down, therefore I am giving this to you. That also can be seen as. है ना. तो यहाँ भी सारे देवता लोग इनको बलिम आवहंती, they give bali avanti means all the gifts they give means what, they are at the beck and call of that Mahat Brahma. Whatever he orders they do it. That's how the position we reach to. Then comes one by one. तो आपनोति स्वराज्यम. That much we saw now so far. Now next one, आपनोति manasaspatim. He becomes the position, he gets the position of, or he comes to that position where he becomes manasaspati. Means what? Sarvesham hi manasam patihi. So he becomes the lord of the total antakarana, total manabuddhi chitta ahankara of the universe. Therefore, sarvatmakatvat brahmana. Why so? Because the Brahma is the aham of the total aham. सर्व का आत्मा है ब्रह्म. ओम ब्रह्म से हम एक हो गए. Therefore, the entire manaha will be under our control. We come that manasaspati. Imagine what would be the stage at that level. Every mind we will be able to know. Every mind we will be able to command. Every mind will be able to control. They are all higher siddhis. In the Yoga Shastra also they are done. Here also it is informed. So, in that sequence also, there are little evolutions. As I told you, कि महत ब्रह्म में identify हो जाओ, तो every mana is under control of that. At the lower level also, little evolutions when they happen, then some 10, 20, 30 minds, that too partially, they start listening to our commands. But they are very low level achievements. Like I express my honesty of purity of my love to you, 10 people around. Then when they are convinced, then they listen to me. So I got command on your mind. With my good behavior, with my pure faith or the love, which you understood. That's also conditional. Sometimes instead of understanding, you may become jealous also. But if you also understood, then you understand me, accept me, and then your mind to some extent under my control. It may not be again ultimate. If you find a better guru than me, you go there. Somebody else giving more love, you go there. I'm just giving an idea that at the lower level also, how do we command the minds? To give an idea, what is the meaning of Manasaspati? You become knower of everybody's emotions and imaginations. He'll be able to guide them. Manasaspatim. And in fact, that Hiranyagarbha only continuously inspiring and guiding every mana towards its evolution. And through the evolution of mana or antakarana, the evolution of every jiva. Even in the cases where somebody appears to be fallen at the mind level, that also is a required process in the evolution. See, always remember these journeys in the Pahadi Ilaka. In the Pahadi Ilaka, when you are reaching to higher altitudes, क्या होता है ना, आप घूमते ही रहते हो, लगता है वहीं हो आप, बट यू आर नॉट घूम रहे नहीं है, आप ऊपर ऊपर चढ़ रहे हैं. सेम टाइम कब कभी ऐसा होता है कि आप नीचे जा रहे हो, लगता है नीचे जा रहे हैं, बट दैट इज इनएविटेबल वे बिकॉज द पाथ इज लाइक दैट. आफ्टर दैट ओनली यू क्लाइम. सो टू इन द यूनिवर्स में हर एक जीव को भगवान घुमाते हुए ऊपर नीचे ले जाते हुए अपने ही तरफ खींच रहे हैं. अदरवाइज देर इज नो मीनिंग फॉर द लॉर्ड बीइंग द लॉर्ड. देर इज नो मीनिंग फॉर द लॉर्ड बीइंग काइंड एंड कंपैशनेट. But it is our some type of rigidities or resistances which delay our journey, which delay our reaching the destination. You understand? But the one who is totally surrendered to Guru Krupa and Bhagwan with the faith that they only follow me, they get exposed to every type of treatment given by them or the Lord or the Prakriti, knowing fully well that this at this stage is an essential part for my own evolution. Like in any surgery or any medical treatment, every type of thing is done, but the ultimate goal is health of the person. कोई काट रहा है, कोई पीट रहा है, कोई पट्टी लगा रहा है, कोई इंजेक्शन दे रहा है, कोई ग्लूकोज लगा रहा है. इन सम टाइम यू आर बीटन ऑल्सो. शॉक ट्रीटमेंट भी देते हैं कभी. डोंट दे गिव शॉक ट्रीटमेंट इफ इट्स रिक्वायर्ड? हाँ. So too, a seeker in his full faith for the goal and the Lord knows that every experience in his life that is given is only by God for only evolution and uses it that way. Faithful person uses every experience to go near to the Lord. The one who doesn't have faith, then he'll become more nastic and goes away from the Lord. That is also a problem, always lurking. So understood what is the meaning of manaspati? Sarvesham manasaha sarveshami manasam pati bhavati. Now our mind is such a terrible tyranny that we are not able to control this fellow only. We have not even trusted and accepted that my own mind is my enemy now. We are taking this number one enemy only as friend. Where is this sthiti of dusthiti of becoming slave to the negative mind with its desire, lust, passion, emotion? Where is the highest mind of Mad Brahma who identifies with every mana and is able to control, guide all of them for the evolution, not for any of his selfishness? His goal is Parabrahma only. The one whose goal is not Parabrahma, he will not be given these promotional heights of Mahat Brahma Ityad. By the way, I am sharing some thoughts. Okay. So, Apnoti Manasaspatim is he becomes Pati of all the mana total. It's a great thing. You can love, guide, compassionately take care of every mana that way. By this, what we should know that all our individual minds are always tuned to the total mind or in connection with the total mind. That's why suddenly good thoughts come to us, suddenly some good ideas come. So the total mind is protecting us. But bad thoughts all come, they are also part of total mind, but they are self created, self ordered. He never wants to give negative. He gives only positive. Negative is because of our prarabdha, our bad company, our own ignorance, our own habits, our own vasanas. ये अपने खुद के होते हैं. By the way. So, आपनोति मनसस्पतिम. Now next one. Sarvaihi manobihi tat manute. That's the meaning. Means what? Through every mana, he is the one who thinks, who feels, who contemplates. Sarvaihi manobihi manute. That sthiti comes. That's what we tried to say yesterday or day before, that when the earth needs a scientific discovery, then that Hiranyagarbha, Vad Brahma, enters into the conducive mana of any of the scientists and works through them to bring out that scientific theory. You understand? एनीथिंग यहाँ इस जगत में जो भी कुछ अल्टीमेट अचीव करना है तो उस उपाधि के अंदर जाकर ही डज इट. ए ग्रेट पोएट्री हैज टू कम आउट, ए ग्रेट काव्यम हैज टू बी रिटर्न, एन इटर्नल स्क्रिप्चर हैज टू बी रिटर्न, so that Mahat Brahma enters to the any of the conducive upadhis. You know Tulsidas, he will enter and then see that the Ramayana comes. He enters the Valmiki, sees that the Ramayana comes out. Is it not? He enters into Shukadeva and sees that the Bhagavata Purana is given. Shukadeva is Brahmanubhava person is different. Shukadeva as Paramabhakta Sharanagata is different. In this way, Paramabhakta and Sharanagata people are many. Brahmagnani also are many. But everyone is not the Vakta of Bhagavat. So that special status or identity of Shukadevji to be the Bhakta Bhagavata has come to him because that equipment was chosen by the Hiranyagarbha. That's how we have to understand the higher level. Then you give credit to Shukadev ji कि आपने बढ़िया सा भागवत बोला. He knows मैंने नहीं बोला, उन्होंने मेरे द्वारा बोला. See, भक्ता एंड ज्ञानी रेवल इन द आनंद. उनको कोई दिखता ही नहीं जिसके लिए कुछ बोलने का होता है. Then how come he spoke? Because Hiranyagarbha entered through him and spoke. In the same way, whatever great things that are achieved are all the promptings of the Hiranyagarbha through those upadhis. So Manute Manobhihi Tat Manute. Sarvaihi Manobhihi Tat Manute. Through all the minds, he is the one who thinks. Yeah. And again, mana means all the creative, constructive, positive only. Not the destructive. Destructive is that jiva's gustaki because of his freedom given. Okay, otherwise we have to doubt the good intention of the total mana. Ultimately, everything again, good or bad, gets balanced only in the total. और उस लेवल पे जाओ तो सब उन्हीं का है के मानना पड़ता है. ओके, ओम आपनोति स्वराज्यम आपनोति मनसस्पतिम. Same way the continuation. What is the next one? Kim cha vakpatihi. See the main mantra. The next one is he also becomes vakpatihi. Means what? Sarvasam vacham pati bhavati. So he becomes the lord of the speaking ability or the speech of the entire speaking beings. Sarvesham vacham pati bhavati. He becomes pati of the total speech at all levels of Pashyanti, Madhyama, Vaikari and Para. Paravani, Pashyanti, Vaikari, Madhyama and Vaikari. To all of that he becomes Vachaspati. And then he is also able to regulate or control the speech. Okay. And two things always remember. In this world, ultimately nothing is happening. Everything is an entertainment or leela. And in entertainment of leela, there is a hero and villain. Villain will beat hero, hero will beat villain. This of cinema. Second is always remember, Every good is balanced by the bad. Every bad is balanced by good. By balancing the good and bad, one transcends that which is beyond these two. And the totality functions in this way. In totality, all should be sama. And that sama totality plays the play of Vishamata, called as the world. Therefore, for the totality, when he had to do some destructive thing there, he will do it. Though it is destructive at the superficial level, but it has its own constructive process somewhere. Like a big tufans, etc., come. We see only destruction in that. But in a higher level, there is some neutralization of some opposite thing. That is why it happens. Why I'm saying all this is, if he is the one Lord of everybody's speech and manner, how come people are thinking negative? How come people are speaking negative? And why is not controlling their negative speech or negative thinking? This would be our question. The answer is what? The whole world is made by the pairs of opposite. If everything becomes good, there is no meaning to the good. Therefore, to sustain the show of the world, like सिनेमा में सारे हीरो है, कोई एक विलन नहीं होता, तो ये बोरिंग है, तो उसको नेशनल अवार्ड मिलता है उस सिनेमा, कोई नहीं देखता उसको. So too, the world is true. So in the play, it happens. And there are many other reasons of individual prarabdhas, mutual prarabdhas, which have to be cleared in course of evolution. वैसे बड़ा बड़ा स्कीम्स हैं, वो हमारे लेवल में हमको नहीं पहुंचाते हैं. The higher plannings and executions as done by the higher beings are not made to be available for us because we get frightened or confused. Therefore, whatever is required for us, only that much is made to be known by us. And only in that, when you keep on doing the good, we evolve, by the way. So, Vakpati Sarvasam Vacham Pati Bhavati. So, with that power, he can make a person whose throat is like a donkey to a singer. A great singer's throat also can be choked. In the same way, variety of vocabularies or variety of oratories, etc., he can bless. A person of knowing nothing can be eloquent speaker. Like all these Kalidasas, they're all like that. Kalidas, such a Muraka, he was cutting the tree on which he was sitting. But the Kripa of this Mahat Brahma through that Mata Rani there, he became the writer of such a great Shastras. So that Mahat Brahma is functioning. Therefore, our attention should be on that Mahat Brahma. Wherever the opposite things we see in the world, if somebody is singing well, somebody is not, somebody is speaking well, somebody is not, ये सब उनकी लीला है. It is not that the one who is speaking well, that it is speaking or singing well only by his effort. It is Ishvara Krupa. So too, if somebody is not speaking or singing well, it is not his fault. Ishvara doesn't want through him. If the one who knows it, he surrenders to Ishvara. Whatever he gives, he accepts it. और सबको सब चीज हमेशा भगवान नहीं देते. और जिसको जो दिया उससे वो व्यक्ति उसी भगवान का सेवा करने में उनका कल्याण है. Is a basic thing, but comes out as understanding only when you become highly exposed to these shastras. So there is a Vakpati, Manaspati, Samratu as Hiranyagarbha, under whose persuasion or guidance the entire universe is moving. The world is not chaotic. The world is not uncontrolled or unruly. He is there. He is doing it. If that's the case, uncontrolled, unruly, then the world should go on falling down and down and down from the Kali to the Mahakali to the Mahakali to Mahakali. But is it so? Is it not the Kali again becoming the Satyayuga and Treta and all? Ho raha hai, na? So how is it happening? It's a universe that Lord is doing it. है कोई सर्वशक्तिमान? नहीं तो फिर गिरता ही जाएगा ना, ऊपर कैसे उठ रहा है. Never ever again Kruta, Treta, Dwapara Yugas should come if the downfall is uncontrollable and if somebody is not there to bring back it to the higher level. By the way, so Vachaspatim Dekliyamne, Soto Tata Eva Chakshushpatihi, Chakshusham Patihi. He becomes the onlooker through the eyes of every being in the world, not only human. Through my eye, the Prajapati is seeing. When I know that, then I am no more a seer through this eye, a small little individual, which is not an overnight job. Only when we understand these Shastras thoroughly and are ready to sacrifice the individual owned upadhis and the functions to them, then we will be able to understand, experience how the total is expressing through me. Like this speech is happening, a totality is expressing here. At this, in the scheme of evolution of few of us, it is required at this stage. Therefore, somebody is making speaker, somebody is making listener. परमात्मा का ये लीला है. Okay, so Atnoti Manasaspatim, Vachaspati, and Chakshushpati. So he sees through every eye, he controls every eye, he repairs every eye if it is required, and if he requires, he even make an eye blindfolded also. तो सारे चक्षु के वो स्वामी बन जाते. सोटू सारे वाणी का बन जाते. किनसे कितना बुलवाना है, किसका मुख कब बंद करना है, he knows that. If he understands one jiva is talking too much nonsense, in next life he'll be either made as dumb as a human or he'll be made into those animals which cannot speak. इस तरह से गाड़ी वो चलता रहता है. Then next comes श्रोत्रपति श्रोत्राणाम पति भवते. Then he becomes the lord of all the ears of everybody in the universe. Again, ability wise, great listening, less listening, no listening. And the practice wise, listening good things, listening higher noble things will happen in our life when this Mahat Brahma blesses us. Therefore, in the beginning we said, Bhadram Karnevi Shunyama, Bhadram Bhashyama Akshavihi in our other Upanishads. Here also we have prayed to different devatas who are Angabhuta of this Mahat Brahma. These devatas go and put it in front of the Mahat Brahma Angi. Vaya o log o mang rahe Guru Maharaj or O Lord. Then Mahat Brahma says, tell me the case history of them. Do they deserve? Devatas, when they recommend the case that they deserve, tathastu, he says. We are asking through devatas, but the fulfiller of our demands is the Mahat Brahma only because devatas are only his servants. सारे सब्जेक्ट मिलाकर पढ़ लेना. तो आपनोति स्वराज्यम, आपनोति मनसस्पतिम, आपनोति वाक्पति, आपनोति चक्षुष्पति, आपनोति श्रोत्रपतित्वम. So he who this way has done the Mahat Brahma Upasana, Mahat Vyarthi Upasana becomes Mahat Brahma, and in the end with Mahat Brahma, these are the great results. So instead of coveting or trying to reach to those heights, how come we are only living at the body level with all the miseries, yet expecting some small little pleasures? Now, this is called as Viveka. Unless this Viveka is done, all the nonsense which we are thinking and doing, we will not recognize and we can't give it up. मोह मतलब यही है, गहरा मोह, गंभीर मोह, deep delusion of not trying to understand what wrong things we are continuously doing for ourselves. Here the Upanishad says you can become Mahat Brahma, who becomes Shrotrapati, Vakshapati, Chakshushpati, and you are becoming Patila here by identifying with one set of Upadhi and struggling to get Sukha with them from the useless world around. Is it not? Throughout life expecting the wife will cook a good food and always it is remaining as expectation only because she is neither improving herself nor changing. What is the pathetic life of that husband who cannot have a good food one day from the wife? And what is the greatness of a upasaka of this Bhuvaha Vyaharati at the total level and became one with the Vayu Tattva? He can taste through every tongue and every pranamaya. आ गया बात समझ में? That will the greatness. Means these are all subtle possibilities which we have to listen, accept, and try for that. Don't remain only the grass. Even while going through the grass, we all know that we are not the grass. थोड़ा दिमाग लगा के सोचो, we know that we are the knower and witness of the grass, we are not the grass. But that thinking we are not doing. थोड़ा सोचने से मैं स्थूल देह नहीं हूँ पता चलता है, लेकिन उतना थोड़ा भी हम नहीं सोचते हैं, उतना फंसे रहते. Is it not little thinking? In sleep, this Deha is not there. In dream, some other Deha is there. In the waking, also, I am the knower of Deha, like I am the knower of buffalo. When the known buffalo is not me, how can the known body be me? Simple. थोड़ा सोचो पता हो तो, but उतना थोड़ा भी नहीं सोचना चाहते. That is called delusion at the deepest level. Then the highest level of maturity is what? Every sthula sukshma karna is drishya. I am the drashta of all of that, the Mahat Brahma. Like that. So, apnoti swarajyam, apnoti manaspatim, apnoti vakpatim, chakshushpatim, shrotrapatim. That means what? All the indriyas, indriya adhisthana devatas, because they are all under his control, he becomes pati of all of them, and through them he only works, as is his choice. And his choice, again, his choice is there, that through every upadhi, he will try to reach out to Paramatma. The next one is important. Vijnana patihi means Vijnanam cha patihi, Vijnananam cha patihi. Again, Sarvatmakatvat. So through every intellect, he is the one who knows. इसी को मैंने कहा कि कोई साइंटिस्ट क्यों बना. परमात्मा has chosen that upadhi to investigate and discover that already existing scientific rule and law, not revealed because it was not required at that time. Now it is required, therefore it is revealed. And so too many other scientific discoveries which were required and used some hundreds of years back. Now they are dormant, they are not used at all by us. आज जो यूज कर रहे हैं 200-300 साल का जरूरत नहीं पड़ी, ये सब लुप्त हो जाएंगे. फिर उस समय जो जरूरत होगा वो विज्ञान फिर प्रकट होगा. It is just like a person got a cycle and a good expert of driving cycle. But through some fortune destiny, he got a car. And 20 years he drove the car. After 20 years driving the car, tell him one day to drive the cycle, like the American president, he will fall. The other day you saw. The one who is trying to control the entire country has fallen from cycle. क्यों? अब साइकिल चलाने की जरूरत नहीं है तो टैलेंट भगवान ले लेते हैं. जब जरूरत था उनको दिया. I gave an example of an isolated individual. In the total also, whatever is required at that time, Paramatma functioning through one or the Vijnanamaya Kosha makes it is revealed, used by other people. So the whole world is governed by so many subtle laws which are there for the sustenance and growth of all the jivas. These truths are revealed to that particular period people when the Paramatma Mahat Brahma motivates or inspires one of the Vijnanamaya Koshas. That's the meaning of he is by Vijnanamaya. सर्व विज्ञान से वही बात करते, वही काम करते. That's what I gave you so many ideas. A political Vijnani, a scientific Vijnani, a sports Vijnani. There are Vijnanis everywhere. New sports are coming up. In the sports, new ways are coming out. उनके अंदर परमात्मा बैठकर काम कर रहे हैं. Without Paramatma, the Mahat Brahma, all the matter only. Matter cannot think. So Vijnanapati, Vijnanamchapati, Sarvatmakatva. You know, when you know all this, you don't feel jealous of others if somebody is highly intellectual. Okay, Bhagavan working through him. If he chooses, he'll work through us also. And that is why all the things are there in the world. Everybody is not scientist, and some are the scientists. And no scientist is permanently a scientist. And no permanent scientist is a scientist of every science. You understand it? एवरी फील्ड में ऐसा ही होता है. हर बंदा गायक नहीं होता, कुछ ही गायक होते हैं. लेकिन वो गायक भी हमेशा गायक नहीं रहता, और हमेशा भी है तो एक ही भाषा का होएगा. ही इज नॉट अ सिंगर ऑफ ऑल लैंग्वेज. And in the singers also, the classic singers are there, modern singers. Everybody is not everything. So what we have to visualize is Leela is functioning to all of them. You need not feel jealous. If you want to become like that, there are those respective upasanas. Do it, become that. He will give that blessing. आपको गायक बननी है तो फिर माँ सरस्वती को प्रार्थना करो. Saraswati is an expression of Mahat Brahma. She is also servant of Mahat Brahma only. पूजा करो सरस्वती का, she will go to Mahat Brahma and put application. Mahat Brahma says, yeah, ठीक है, दे दो. It will come. Nothing is impossible or great in this world to achieve. But the greatest is to go beyond even Mahat Brahma, become one with Parabrahma, which is become so vague to us because all our education system in the modern world is something only about the grossest, never about the subtlest. That is the problem of Kali Yuga. In Satya Yuga, all these gross things are not so fancyingly taught. In Satya Yuga, only Mahat Brahma or Parabrahma is taught. Very clear. And so many subtle secrets are there. I'm not talking all of them. जितना चोरी उतना समझ लो. So Vijnanapati Bhavati. So everything is his own Vijnana here. He is able to command. And to that level, you and I can become through the Mahaupasana. That is the idea. What is Mahopasana? When we are respecting and revering every individual in this world. Thereafter, Vijnanapati, Vijnanancha Pati Sarvatmakatvatu means what? The essence is this. The summary of all these Falashruti is this one. Nichod कहते हैं ना, the gist and summary. What is that? Sarva praninam karanaihi tadvan bhavati ityartaha. He becomes that total universal person of identifying with all the karana of all the pranis. सारे प्राणी कोटि का कर्मेंद्रिय और ज्ञानेंद्रिय और अंतःकरण के द्वारा काम करने वाला बन जाता है. सर्व प्राणिनाम करणैः तद्वान भवति इति अर्थः. That is the meaning. Now we are trying to work through one upadhis and none of them listen. We are under the influence of so much of strong prarabdha and vasanas and ego and selfishness. Through the upasana, all these are transcended. Then we are given the highest promotion of Mad Brahma, where through all the karanas we work. I work. That's called the Hiranyagarbha Sthiti. He is called Bhutasya Jata Patihi Eka Asi. Then Kimcha Tata Api Adhikataram Etad Bhavati. एक तो एक स्थायी का हमने बताया अभी तक. इससे भी बढ़कर देर आर 2-3 more things that this through Vyarati Upasana, one who transcends all this. Vyarati Upasana के बाद he entered into Dahara Akasha, he found the Purusha, and that Purusha, he while serving in the world, served the individual upadhis used for serving total, and through Yoga Marga, when he ejects out of this individual equipments, again, for some lives he will be as Agni, for some lives as Vayu, for some as is Aditya. Having transcended all that, when he becomes Mad Brahma, at that level, these also are the subsequent Falashruti. So, Etat Tataha Bhavati. Tataha means usse bhi adhikatara, Etat Bhavati, he becomes this also. This itself is so glorious. आपनोति स्वराज्यम आपनोति मनसस्पतिम वाक्पति चक्षुष्पति श्रोत्रपति विज्ञान भवति पति itself is so great. Then greater than that is what? The next mantra Akasha Shariram Brahma Satyatma Pranaramam Mana Anandam Shanti Samruddham Amrutam. In this way, having taught Iti, this is the glory of this Upasana Vyarati and Dahara Upasana and Upasana of Jiva to lift him. He can come up to Mahabrahma level. Oh my dear Prachina Yogya, the disciple to him this Mahachapasya was teaching Upasva. Therefore, do the Upasana of Jiva first in the Hridaya and evolve him in this Yogadi Marga to the level of becoming one with Mahat Brahma. Now, this all appears to be mystical and vague because whatever the solid, substantial, tangible, seeable by the Indriya, that alone true, in that notion we are. That notion has become so strong and that notion is strengthened only continuously by living only at that level. But the same Shastra, when you study many times, then slowly we recognize Stula is very grossest expression. The real life is in the Sukshma, Sukshma, Sukshma. So we chanted the mantra. Tomorrow the meaning of it and bhashya of it will do. And also we'll take up tomorrow if possible. Saptava Anuvaka Sambandha Bhashyam. Thereafter we can see the mantra and the artha of the Saptava Anuvaka. This is enough for the day. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Avashishyate. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Sri Guru Bhyo Namaha Paramarushibhyo Namaha Parabrahmane Namaha Shruti Matre Namaha Om Tat Sat Brahmarapanastu Vedavyasa Vaishampayana Actual Kadi Shankaradi Guru Bhyo Namaha Om 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 Om. Not knowing the greater ultimate is first delusion. Seeing and knowing the grossest second delusion. Identifying and the living life at this grossest level is third delusion. We are in this delusion of identifying with the gross. Actually, we are the subtle. In this way, not knowing that I am deluded is another delusion. Therefore, not pursuing the path of greater ultimate is the fifth, sixth delusion. We are in that delusion. Not knowing ultimate, thinking all this, knowing all this, identifying with them, and living at that level only. And not knowing that we are deluded is biggest delusion. Therefore, not knowing again the first step of the ultimate, therefore not pursuing it. घर के सुख को छोड़कर घर से निकलकर बिना दोबारा घर में नहीं जाते हुए जो बाहरी भटकता रहता है ना बंदा, लाइक दैट इज आवर लाइफ. द घर इज द सेल्फ एंड ऑल द आइडेंटिफिकेशन विद द देह आदि. Now imagine, because this deha aditma, from one sharira to other, one loka to other, alien to us, we are just kicked only. कभी पंछी बन के पेड़ पर बैठे, कभी मछली बनकर पानी में गए, कभी कीड़ा मकोड़ा होकर दलदल में जा रहे हैं, कभी एक मौत बनकर मौत के घाट खुद को उतार रहे हैं उस अग्नि में कूद कर. इट इज यू एंड आई अननेसेसरली in the human also, in different places with different diseases with different samasyas. Why should we go through all that? And that will be inevitable as long as we are not doing upasana with the goal to reach the higher. कभी कभी कोई पशु जानवर कुछ देखकर हम तरसते हैं. Even seeing human beings, who are they? Jivas behaving under the influence of ignorance, and we are also under influence of ignorance. And don't think that the place and sukha which we are getting now is the highest. फंस कर उसको वही deluded है हम. हमको पता भी नहीं कि हम रिचर लाइफ में जी रहे हैं, आइडेंटिफाई विद दिस बॉडी। क्या इससे बढ़कर देह नहीं है क्या दुनिया में? बट ऐसा बोलो कोई मानता ही नहीं। You say, no, no, my body is great to me. That's called delusion. There are greater dehas are there in the human life only, human level. Then the devatas, दिव्य शरीर तो है ही, बट हमको लगता है नहीं, मैं जो इस टाउन में हूँ वही बढ़िया है, जिस गली में हूँ वही बढ़िया है, जिस घर में हूँ वही बढ़िया है, और जिस देह में हूँ वही अल्टीमेट है. These are all called illusions. Therefore, we are not trying to come out of it. सबसे माया का महामाया ये होता है कि ये माया है, हमको जानने नहीं देता हूं. Highest influence of Maya is not allowing us to know that we are in Maya. And these will never come to our understanding and remain as continuous thing till we worship our Guru Tattva, Guru Parampara and Bhagwan for thousands of lives. And after this, knowing that I am in Maya, only then I can try to come out of Maya. अगर पता ही नहीं कि मैं माया हूं, मैं हूं, इतना भरपूर माया है, तो वो बंदा आएगा नहीं हमेशा उसमें से. Is it not? May God guide all of us in this way to recognize that we are caught up in Maya and its karya of Dehosmi, Jivosmi, Ityadi. Have we recognized? Let us aim at transcending Maya to become one with that Purna Purusha. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Thanks. Now let us study our Vidura Niti Thoda Sa.